It's Pastor Beth and Pastor Joel, and we're here to tell you a little bit more about Lent at Mount Olivet this year, which begins on Ash Wednesday, which is February 14th. Lent is a time to connect with God and in community with each other and in a very intentional way. And for these 40 days before Easter, we prepare ourselves for the story of Jesus' death and resurrection by becoming attentive to God and to one another.
This Lent, Mount Olivet is going to focus on the spiritual practice of listening deeply to stories from Scripture, from one another, and from our wider community. God is present as we listen, shaping and transforming us through what we hear.
Stories change us, our theme. You'll feel that in worship, where we'll hear stories from the Gospel of Mark on Sundays. And we'll also hear from our Mount Olivet members on Wednesday night during worship as they share their own stories of times of transition in their lives.
Stories change us in our community book read, where we will hear stories from people of color and Indigenous people in Minnesota as our whole congregation reads and discusses the book, A Good Time for the Truth.
There'll be opportunities for you to engage more deeply and learn. Stories change us with these Lent tracks that will be available on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock, when we will engage with ourselves in community and God's unfolding story. And here's a little bit more about those three learning options.
In the Many Faiths learning track, we're going to learn how our lens of being Lutheran Christians helps us to understand people of different religions and to be good neighbors to them as well. We're going to welcome guest speakers from the Jewish and Muslim faiths, and we're so excited to do so.
The power of our relationships with our partners in the community gives us the opportunity to deeply listen and to deeply know what's important to them. So one of the tracks that we have during Lent is a mission and outreach track that is not just about providing charity to our partners, but it's inviting them in to understand more about who they are and what's important to them and how we can be a better partner with them.
In the Ignatian Spirituality Learning track, we'll spend the weeks in Lent exploring and learning about spiritual practice that come forth from the wisdom of Saint Ignatius of Loyola. And we'll have the opportunity to experience different kind of prayer practices and meditation practices, and then reflect on how we integrate those into our daily lives, both individually and then as a group. For information and to register for classes in the book read, you can go to our website, moplea.org/Lent. And we're looking forward to all that's ahead for us together with all these stories that will change us.